mob. They brought them here and then watched the entire thing.
Supporters of the Christopher Columbus statue in Little Italy say the statue should have never been allowed to be torn down. Some even claiming police watched it as it happened and did nothing to try to stop it. And we have live team coverage of the protest movement. First, we begin with Liz Ortiz with a look at violent versus peaceful protests and when the message gets lost. Liz?
Well, Mary, I spoke to a sociology professor who says during protest movements like this, there are three groups of people. You have the peaceful protesters, the rioters, and then the looters. He says it's very important to know the difference so that the message behind the protest doesn't get lost.
No justice, no peace.
Since the death of George Floyd at the hands of police,
Don't shoot.
Protesters continue to fight for social justice and equality across the country and here at home.
We can't keep going in the same path, you know what I mean? White, black, we need to come together.
This was a youth-led protest last month in Howard County. And here is another one in Baltimore City, both sending messages of peace. While most protests have been peaceful, there were a few instances of violence and looting, like at this convenience store near City Hall. Dr. Rashawn Ray, sociology professor at the University of Maryland, says it's important to distinguish between the two.
I think for some people, they perceive that the message gets lost. I think what's important to note is that these are different groups of people. So now all of a sudden you want to blame the peaceful protesters. You want to blame the people who have experienced police violence. You want to blame the people who have experienced structural racism. That's the exact opposite of what we need in this moment. We have to make sure that we make distinctions.
Over the weekend, video shows protesters tearing down this Christopher Columbus statue in Little Italy and tossing it into the harbor. Some support that action, while others say this form of protest sends the wrong message.
Violence never helps a message, and it all goes back, if you think about it, to Freddie Gray. Everyone was sympathetic with what happened to Freddie Gray and his family. Once the rioting started, people wanted law and order. They lost their sympathy for it.